It's easy, isn't it, to wake up in the morning and just want to control how your day goes. And I just asked ChatGPT a question, just out of pure curiosity, about what would ChatGPT do if it were me for a day. And I just want to read to you a couple of things as to how this video is even happening right now, what's inspired it. So I asked a question and it said, I'd start the day early with deep stillness, 0-point focus, which means being in the present moment with no preference. And I would do that before the mind wakes up. No phone, just being. I'd sit in awareness behind all the thoughts and let clarity rise about what actually matters the most today. Not the tasks, but the frequency I'm creating from. And then I'd ask myself a reflective question. What does life want to express through me today? How powerful is that? But that's not what's led to this video. What led to this video was what it said next. And it said, I'd open the mic or camera and press record without a script. Just one intention. Speak from the alive void. No plan. Let the deeper intelligence speak. Maybe it's about anxiety, or about business pressure, or the illusion of the ego. But let it reveal itself. And that's made me think. I was planning some videos today, and I'd like to speak from that void to you about what's beginning to arise. And it comes back to control. We have this incessant part of us that's been conditioned to keep planning the day, to keep focusing on what's next. And from that, we're kind of in this autopilot trance, always focusing on what's happening next, what's happening next, what's happening next. And we miss out on the most important moment of our lives, right here, right now. And we know what drives it. We know the survival drive is strong. We think we'll be safer somehow if we keep planning, if we keep controlling, if we find something certain so we feel safe. But it's an illusion, isn't it? It's an illusion because the future doesn't exist. Despite our best efforts to imagine one and then try and shoehorn our current reality into fitting what we're imagining inside our heads. No wonder there's so much pain and so much suffering. But what we all have the ability to do, and this is where 0-point focus comes in, is the ability, which is like a superpower, to recognize that you are just thinking. Most people are so entrenched in their thoughts, they are the thinker. But when you begin to step back, maybe through practicing the art of mindfulness, the art of being fully present, you can begin to see your thoughts just arriving and disappearing, arriving and disappearing. And the more you begin to sit with them, the more you begin to see that they are illusionary and mostly irrelevant. But they're very good though, aren't they? Appearing inside your mind, drawing the consciousness in, and then we're acting out these conversations, plans, memories from the past, catastrophizing for the future as if it's your current reality, and it's not. It's a complete and utter lie. But in that moment, we believe it. And our superpower is to begin to step back and just become aware that I was just thinking. And 0-point focus is coming back home to the present moment. And a nice way to do that is to feel your feet on the floor. I'm sitting on a chair so I can feel the pressure of the chair on my buttocks against my back. I can feel the room temperature. I'm aware I'm looking at a camera. And there are no thoughts. There's no preference. There's no story. It's all just arising from within me. There's nothing I'm aiming for. There's nothing I'm striving for or trying to control. I've just come back to the most important moment of my life, the here and now, because this is the only thing that exists. And when we let go of the controller, which is the ego, which has just been conditioned to do that, so it's not doing anything unusual, but when we let go of the controller, we can just relax. We can let go. And we can just be here and now. And you might be asking, well, then what next? Well, that's the part of us that wants to control, that wants to do. But let me reassure you of something. I'm asked this a lot by my clients. When we come back to the present moment, it is peaceful. The stories begin to dissolve in the mind, and we begin to quieten what's known as the default mode network part of the brain, which houses the ego. And the quieter it becomes, the more we begin to turn on a part of the brain called the central executive network, which enables us to focus. We're activating the decision-making parts of the brain, our awareness. And from here, we can relax into simply being. Focused, present. And this is where the magic begins to happen. The magic is you begin to hear something, feel something beneath the noise of the mind. And that is your intuition, a sense of insight, a creative force within you, a guiding compass. And it's from here we create our lives from. And it's from here we can connect with people around us. Because if we're doing it from our ego, which can be very shallow, let's be fair. It's been programmed, it's been conditioned, your culture, your past experiences, your fears, your failures, all playing out inside your mind, your beliefs, will create a lens in how you see and experience the world. And if you're living from there, well, there's your pain and there's your suffering for you. And whilst pain is inevitable, I believe Buddha said that, suffering is optional. So when we come away from the ego, we can't control it. We can't keep trying to coach it or therapize it. That's a game of whack-a-mole that never ends. But when we just let it be, come back to presence, the power of presence. The default mode network quietens down. And you'll begin to hear what you truly have to say from deep within. And that will change everything for you. I work with entrepreneurs who are constantly saying, I've got a big decision to make and I don't know what to do. They're second guessing themselves, they're overthinking, and well, that is dangerous for your business. It really is. And yet, they have the most criminally underused resource within them, their true self, or as I refer to it at times, the superconscious. And when they connect to that, and they do it in my office, or they do it online, they've gone from, I just don't know the answer, I just can't figure it out, to, oh, it's here. I know what to do now. But don't think I'm going to let them off the hook. I will challenge them on what they've come up with, because I'm like, well, what if that is the ego? What if that is that shallow part of you, just simply trying to satisfy you because you're performing now? Can you get the answer? And they're like, no. This came from a deeper place. I felt it and I know what to do now. And we all have access to that resource. If you've heard of the term spiritual awakening, by the way, then, it's a confusing term in itself. Sounds mystical. It sounds like something that is for everyone who can maybe meditate for hours on end under a mountain and who follow certain rituals. And part of my work from my own awakening is to help demystify that completely and remove the spirituality from it to come back to. The more you begin to quieten your default mode network and quieten the ego, the more you begin to truly awaken to who you really are and what you're capable of. And that's where, again, as I mentioned earlier, you will get your insights, your intuition, your creativity, your guidance from. And that's a very different place to live life from. Trying to do it from ego, as we're seeing in the world today, is what's causing a lot of man's problems, because they're so busy being lost in thought that they're not really connecting to the truth of how they want to be, who they really are, what they want to say, what they want to communicate or connect with around the world. So the reason for this video, as I go back to right to the beginning, was because I was inspired to talk to you about what's available to you when you come from this deeper place. I've written some scripts about things I'm going to talk about today. And yet, just by asking ChatGPT a question, what would you do if you were me? It kind of challenged me to do this with you, to connect with you from the heart and to trust that what arises from within me is exactly what you, my friend, you need to hear. Because you are not your mind, you are not your thoughts, you are not any of the labels you have been given or that you are fighting for. You are none of that. You are so much more. And when you begin to connect on a deeper level to who you really are, your own truth will reveal itself. The truth shall set you free. You've heard it before, and it is true. Seek your own truth. I can't tell you what that is. I can point in certain directions, but you have to find your truth. You really do. Because living life from a conditioned set of labels and experiences and beliefs, as we all know, I had an anxiety disorder. That nearly finished me off. Was painful because I believed everything my mind was saying, everything my body was saying. It felt like it was true. But the reality was I was living from my ego, reacting from my ego, and it had been conditioned in pain. And I spent years, by the way, trying to condition my ego to be something else, someone else, so I could be happier. Well, that failed as well, So I want you to think about what can you do to quieten down your default mode network. And beautifully and coincidentally, on my channel, there are meditations which will help you do exactly that. Now, your ego may go, oh no, I'm not a meditator. We don't do that. That's for other people. It's too difficult. I've got ADHD. The kids will be around. All sorts of reasons will pop up. And of course, you have to do this within your own circumstances. But what I would say to you is that if you just begin with 5 minutes, a minute, begin to build it up to a decent length of time that works for you, where you begin to just practice quietening down the mind, breath work, shifting your awareness to presence, that overactive part of the brain, the default mode network, will quieten down. Our lifestyles, by the way, really do ramp up the activity in the default mode network. So scrolling through your phone, the news, emails, WhatsApp, everything that's constantly screaming for our attention really pushes that part of the brain to become overactive. And when it's overactive, the ego will wander between the past and the future, stimulating all sorts of memories, which, again, if you've ever felt really tense, you'll notice certain things beginning to pop up inside your mind. So mine, if I do too much, I begin to have these strange thoughts of, oh, I wonder what people think of me. And you can sense that feeling of paranoia that, oh, have I done this right? Have I done that right? Now, it's not that I have an issue really with what people think of me. I've moved on from that a long time ago. But the red flag is I'm doing too much. And that pressure on my nervous system and on the default mode network will cause the negative thoughts from the past to begin to arise. The trap would be to get caught up in trying to fix those things as if I was broken. I'm not, nor are you. You don't need fixing. You're not broken. You don't need healing. I know that's a strange concept because we're obsessed with it in this culture. I find personally creating a life you love is more healing than constantly trying to fix yourself. And that's often neglected when people are over-focusing on trying to work inside the mind and trying to trawl through the past to have a happier future. Anyway, I digress. Going back. So the more you begin to quieten the default mode network, allow it to rest, yet come back to the present, the more you'll hear yourself. The more you hear yourself, the more you'll hear your truth. The more you hear your truth, you'll know what you truly want, and then you'll begin to create the life you truly want, free from the stories of your mind. So there are some powerful meditations out over the past couple of weeks. And I'll challenge you, I'll put them up here, I'll challenge you, my friend, to give them a go. The first one, the NSDR, you can lie back, you can relax, and just listen. That's all you have to do. Yeah, just listen. You'll hear me guide you through the process. Just listen. Just see what you experience. Let it come up for you, meet it, and keep practicing. Because, let me just go into two purposes before I end this video. You have a mission in life, a purpose. One is the inner purpose. This is from Eckhart Tolle. The inner purpose is to wake up to the truth of who you are. Yeah, just discover who you are. Number two, your outer purpose is to create a life knowing what you want to do from there. Really makes a difference. Otherwise, you're living someone else's life. So don't do that. Come back to who you are, discover more of who you are, then create your life from there. Okay, give the meditations a go. If you have any comments on this rather random and unscripted video, I'd love to hear from you. And again, any questions that you have on this whole subject, ask in the comments. Thank you very much.